Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 6 o'clock tonight. Families of some of the most vulnerable Hoosiers are reacting to accusations in a newly unsealed federal whistleblower case. This lawsuit claims that insurance company and medical providers improperly billed the state for patient care and then walked away with millions of dollars, money that was supposed to have helped Medicaid patients across our state. Emily Longnecker spent today digging through those accusations.
According to the lawsuit, the alleged fraud sometimes involved duplicate claims, some of them made months and years after a patient had died. Money, the lawsuit says, was part of the reason the Family and Social Services Administration projected a $1 billion shortfall last year.
You know, if these allegations are true, we just find this to be really disturbing. Our families have kind of been made to feel that we've, that we're the problem.
Jennifer DeWitt is one of hundreds of parents who rallied at the State House last year, protesting changes in how the state would reimburse them to care for their medically complex kids, like DeWitt's son, Jackson. FSSA said the changes were necessary to address the Medicaid budget deficit.
Yeah, I do feel like we're kind of made out to be the scapegoats.
One of the whistleblowers says a contractor hired by the state to look for fraud told state Medicaid officials about the alleged overpayments back in 2017. He claims those same officials then cut back on their efforts to recover money that may have been overpaid. He says that's all because Medicaid officials were influenced by political pressure and lobbying from the insurance and hospital lobbies.
We are parents that are trying to keep our kids alive. We don't have the ability to send a lot of expensive lobbyists to the State House to plead our case.
13 News reached out to FSSA about the lawsuit and didn't hear back. We also reached out to several other organizations named in the suit. Most said in essence they would not comment right now on ongoing litigation. Ascension Health also added that it, quote, is committed to vigorously defending the organization and our associates against the untrue allegations in the complaint. The two whistleblowers, both high-ranking former state officials, filed the suit in 2021, but it was just recently unsealed. For parents like Jennifer DeWitt, the lawsuit is proof of one thing. She says there needs to be more oversight of the Family and Social Services Administration and its programs.
Indiana just needs to do more, quite frankly.
And we reached out to the governor's office for comment, but we didn't get a response. We did get a response from the whistleblower's attorney via email, and he told me the goal of this suit is to recover this much needed money for Medicaid and to hold the health insurers and the hospitals accountable for this alleged fraud.
All right, Emily Longnecker with that update. Thanks so much. Matt?
Hey, Scott, we were just 2 degrees away this afternoon from hitting a new high temperature record. The record's 93. We hit 91. We've now cooled off to 89. It's still toasty. And Indianapolis still holding on to the 90s once you go south of town. Shelbyville 91, Columbus, Bedford, we're in that 91 degree territory too. Coming up though, we've got some rain chances on the way because we need them. In fact, new update, Hamilton County, not a complete countywide burn ban, but individual cities are now doing their own burn bans, so keep in mind about that. Burn bans just keep on popping up area wide. Now 65% of the state has a burn ban, but we have rain chances on the way. One Friday and one coming up Sunday. Scott.
All right, Matt, we'll see you in a little bit. Tonight at 6, state police are now responding to a proposal to address IMPD's historic officer shortage. That proposal would bring state troopers onto city streets to assist with patrols. Tonight, our Rich Nye says the state's top cop supports that idea.
The Indianapolis Police Union is asking for higher pay, better schedules, and city patrol help from state troopers to deal with a shortage of 300 Metro police officers. State Police Superintendent Doug Carter says he also has a staff shortage of 150 state troopers.
Everybody's hurting, but when we come together without egos, then what happens is we become a force multiplier. So I don't look at IMPD's uniform different than ours. I look at it as we are a support mechanism for them to increase their staffing in the event that we need to, on any side of the city.
Superintendent Carter says he's in almost daily conversations with IMPD Chief Chris Bailey. And while there has been no formal request yet for state troopers to help with IMPD patrols, Indiana State Police stand ready and willing.
My team and I have been thinking about what happens when we get to certain points for some time, and we're not there. We don't feel like that we're there.
Carter says no formal arrangement with IMPD is required and the response can come quickly. State troopers already often assist with increased police presence in high or violent crime areas in Marion County. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
So the Indy FOP tonight is proposing Operation Firewall, which also includes a fee added to big event tickets to offset the costs of policing those events. IMPD has just released the names of 2 officers who shot a man on the north side of Indianapolis last week. Tonight, police are telling us that Officer Michelle Clegg and Sergeant Evan Meyer responded to a hostage situation at a home near 79th and Keystone. That's when officers say they heard a woman screaming inside and then busted into the house. According to police, a man started shooting at police when the 2 officers fired back, hitting the man. That suspect was taken to the hospital. Neither the woman inside the house or the officer involved were hurt. Tonight at 6, federal prosecutors are now taking a closer look at domestic violence cases here in our city. Alleged abusers could now face federal charges. Our Karen Campbell has a look tonight at this new plan and the reaction from domestic violence advocates.
The federal government now stepping in to target suspects of domestic violence who violate federal gun laws. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District Zachary Myers, along with other federal agencies, are working on a plan with agencies like the ATF who help seize guns, but agents will also help locate domestic violence abusers with previous gun charges.
And so if you're a felon who's engaged in domestic violence, you're a target for federal prosecution, regardless of what that felony is, if you have that aggravating circumstance of being abusive to someone in your home.
Director of Indy Champions, Daniette Smith, says this plan could benefit survivors.
Well, with federal charges, they've vetted that individual, which means that they have the evidence, they have what's needed to make sure that those charges can stick.
To help save lives, Karen Campbell, 13 News.
The NTSB just released a new report tonight on a plane crash in Anderson that killed 4 people. That crash happened back on September 6th when witnesses say the small plane flipped and nosedived into a cornfield. Now the NTSB has examined the wreckage, and tonight they're saying it found no evidence of structural failure from the plane. So far, though, the agency has not determined what did cause the crash. Now, we do know the 4 people on board were from Iowa, flying from Fort Dodge to Anderson when the plane crashed near the municipal airport. Tonight at 11, a 13 News exclusive with the Indiana woman who survived this month's mass shooting along I-75 in Kentucky. Janet Booth is recovering tonight in Hamilton County after being struck by gunfire as she was driving back here to Indiana. The bullet fractured her hip. She's passing the time in recovery playing the oboe and journaling about the miracles that she has seen as a survivor.
No arteries in my leg were severed by the bullet. No one was killed. How amazing is that?
Tonight at 11, my exclusive interview with the Hoosier who survived the mass shooting in Kentucky. Still ahead on this Thursday night, questions tonight over unusually large electric bills as AES now prepares to resume disconnections. Plus, a Denny's employee becoming a local sensation thanks to his artistic creations on customer receipts. But first, we'll take a look inside conditions at Indy Animal Care Services. We want you to see the changes this shelter is making after a dog dies while waiting for adoption. All coming up after the break.